conspiratorial opinion, right? I saw these clips already put out with my talk with Hutch, right? Where I kind of outlined a little bit of this. It's an up, gang. These people are coordinating, and that changes it. That changes the nature of what is being done. I want you guys to understand that. Faces and the kind of whispers that are going on in people's ears, right? The kind of narratives that are getting generated and things like that, and how that can affect people and how people.
I hope that voice is not really how he talks. Like, I really hope, man, because I can't listen to this guy without cracking up. Like, he just sounds so goofy.
Respond to it. $5 from the airborne kite. Notice how the moment he showed a crack, Team Snark would not let him out of the spotlight for a moment. Kept picking at sore spots. I noticed. Yes. But that's one of the goals of Team Snark. They want to drive a wedge between everyone and isolate their targets. We're going to get to that. So yeah. Just to summarize, kind of like the intro portion here, because I'm getting a little long-winded. People need to understand what tactics are being used so you can see and understand how nuts.
Okay, so this is the stream. Okay. Yeah, so he's talking about the tactics that are being used against them. But again, as he goes on and lists them and talks about them, it's all the things that the left does. Because it's things that I've noticed. There's one thing in particular, I was like, it's something that I've noticed, and I think that we need to be more aware of it so that we could stop entertaining it when they try to use it against us.
None of this is real in a real sense. None of it's real. It's all fake and gay, to borrow a phrase. These are all astroturfed narratives that are going around. These are all like, they make it look like it's organic and people are just naturally feeling this way, but no, they're not. These are talking points that are manufactured, that are boosted, that an organization like with organizations are clipping and shipping, and all of this is astroturfed in a very real way, and we're gonna get to that. I want to talk about who's at fault. This is one of those things where I can't give you solid answers because I don't know. And I want to make that clear, what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. I have suspicions based on the evidence that I have seen. There's a couple people who I fucking know, but you don't get to know that information yet. But for like other people, it's just suspicion at this point. But I am fairly confident that as more information comes out, some of my suspicions will be confirmed. But I just want to make sure that everyone knows that I am not making any specific accusations against specific people unless I say their specific name. Okay? So if you're sitting there thinking, why is he attacking me? Did I say your name? Then, I mean, maybe if you're part of these groups, but I don't know if you're part of these groups or not. Does that make sense? We got it? We're on the same page here? Cool.
Look at his desperate attempt to try to have bangs here. See, I have hair. Look at my bangs.
Okay. One of the analogies that I think is important to kind of understand why I have the suspicions I do. And I said this to Hutch yesterday. Like a puzzle, gang. There are some pieces that are of the puzzle that are public, that we all know, that we all can see. And there are some puzzle pieces that I've seen, but you haven't. Okay. And as the puzzle piece, as you get more puzzle pieces, the picture becomes more clear. And there comes a point when you're building a puzzle, gang, when you're putting together one of those 500 pieces puzzles, that you may not have all the pieces in place. In fact, you may not have a lot of these pieces in place. But what the puzzle is representing, what the picture on the puzzle, whether it be like a circus or a clown or a city, it becomes clear. And you know what the puzzle is building to. And this is how intelligence gathering works in the military when I was in there, right? It's why it was very important not to give even little bits to the enemy, right? Not even to let them know a small piece of insignificant information or what you thought was insignificant information. It's because you don't know what they know, okay? You don't know what pieces of the puzzle they've already put into place. And it's very possible that your otherwise inconsequential piece of information that you think, well, how's this going to help them? It's very possible that that will be the piece that they need in order to see the broad picture, right? And to get a better understanding of what's going on. So I don't need all the information. I don't. I need enough to see the broader picture. And I think at this point, I have enough. And one of those, the biggest things that's changed me from kind of, I'm skeptical of all these claims. I don't know. This seems a lot. What are you like? It felt like this feels a little conspiratorial, right? What are we doing here? One of the biggest pieces of the puzzle that I've received is when Destiny and Dan and Mooten and all those people were saying, hey, this server has a docs in it, has doxes in it. And the people who were on the Snark team and the Snark side kept saying, no, they don't. No, you're lying. That's not true. We don't dox people. We have no doxes in our server. None of that's true. I was shown evidence. Destiny was telling the truth. And the people who were telling me that the Snark server had none of this and that were lying. And it caused me to reevaluate my priors, right? Or shows I'm about to be on. That, hey, by the way,
Hey,
if you're associated with me, because I'm associated with Destiny, you might be targeted by these mentally ill, crazy people. It's an awkward conversation.
it's so crazy. Like I don't know. It's just so crazy. This section of the, I don't know, YouTube or whatever, like Destiny's crew and everyone that, like, all of his orbiters and all of Destiny's, like, people that hate Destiny, they're all like a bunch of like weird fucking people. It's just crazy.
And it hurts because it hurts my ability to book guests. I do a panel show, gang. I don't usually do solo streams, right? I do a panel show. That means one of the strengths of my show is my ability to get people to come on or to go on their shows, to network. And that is
he is like the Sarah of the Destiny orbiters. He is what Sarah wants to be because she wants to have Destiny so badly on her panels.
kind of a kill shot in a real way to my ability to do that. It makes it much harder for me to book guests because I can't hide it, right? I can't, now that I know, I can't just not mention it. That'd be immoral. That'd be wrong. I have to, and even though the chance maybe
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's like he discovered what it's like to be somebody who isn't a leftist online. Yeah, exactly. It's like he discovered what it's like to deal with them.
not as high as being my co-host, right? Like Tolly was. It's not zero. I don't know. Like I don't have the beforehand, but I had to have a conversation with her earlier that day and be like, yo, I gotta talk to you and I just gotta like let you know that this might happen. And it was awkward and good on her for following through, but I could tell that she was like, it made her hesitant. It absolutely did. I could tell. And that's just gonna keep happening. And yeah, it's a problem. And I'm gonna have to remember too. It's gonna be weird because I'm probably gonna forget at one point, but then remember right before the show, and then I'm gonna have to be like, oh shit, I gotta tell this guy. I just know that's gonna happen. Let's see, $20 from No Fucking Way to say, is this basically gang stalking? I don't actually know what gang stalking is. I don't know. This might be it. This might be it. I might not be able to carry on like I did. I got to think about that. Like one of the things is, I have to consider what I'm going to do about this. My instinct is to say fuck you guys and fight. But if it comes to the if it means that I can't get guests, I don't know. We're gonna have to think about it. Thank you for the WhickTV gift membership. I do appreciate that. And Van Setsu, you say that's a little dramatic. Maybe, but it's a really happening. This is not something I'm making up, and I might be being dramatic about it. but these are the thoughts I'm having, and these are the things that I'm worrying about. That's always a risk, and they may not care. Very possible. But that's one of the tactics, right, that they're doing, is they want to stress you out, right? They want you to worry. They want to minimize the things that you're going through, right? They minimize anything that they do to you, and anything you respond with will be taking at maximum, okay?
See? Right there. So that's part one of the strategy. Was like, well, wait a minute, that's what the lefties do. They'll minimize anything that's done to you and maximize anything you do in response.
The things that you're going through, right? They minimize anything that they do to you, and anything you respond with will be taking at maximum, okay?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's just a tactic they use. But yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what the left does. They'll minimize anything that they do to you and maximize anything you do in response.
$10 from 10 Canadian dollars. Okay, so it's line the tactics that I've seen them use, and that I see them just working with in the open, right? Yeah. So, okay, there are three main concepts that I think that we have to four main concepts, I should say, that we have to understand.
All right, so now we're getting to the meat of this.
One of them, the first, I want you to understand, so that you can understand the tactics and understand the space and understand how this works, is how legitimate actions can become illegitimate in certain contexts. Okay, how an action that would normally be just fine, nothing wrong with it, it's just how it is, when paired with other legitimate actions, can turn into something sinister. An example: driving in your car, just fine. We drive to get every places as long as you obey the speed limit. Who cares, right? Obey the rules of the road, you're fine. But when you have 10 cars all driving and coordinating together to block a road and slow down traffic, that's different. Each of the individual actions that these people are doing, perfectly legitimate. But the coordination and their goals and how they use the actions becomes illegitimate. Does that make sense? Another analogy. I got a few. I wrote a couple down.
Thank you very much, Del Phil, for the 2. God willing, he'll get off all socials, disappear. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Del Phil. Thank you, Gears of Random. Oh, wait. Love your channel. Thank you very much.
Lighting a match. Okay. You light a match to light your cigarette, light a candle. If it's dark out and you want to get some light, nothing wrong with that, right? It's perfectly legitimate. Perfectly fine. Nothing will happen. But if you light a match next to a gas leak, even though it's the same action, because it's done in a different environment, in a different context, you have a different result. And the snarkers have been pumping gas into every chat room, every voice call, every comment section, where normal actions, normal things suddenly have explosive results. And they'll hide behind the legitimate portion, right? Or the legitimate thing. They want you to focus on the bricks so you can't see the wall, okay? And they'll hide behind that. That's a tactic that they'll do, right? That they'll say, well, anyone can drive. I'm just driving, man. There's nothing wrong with driving. Are you trying to stop my right to drive? Of course I could just drive. I'm just I'm a citizen, right? I'm a citizen of the internet. We could all just drive, right? But they're all doing it together to block you, right? They're all driving to block you in.
See, again, like, how is that not something the left does? Wick is a furry, not kidding. Well, yeah, didn't he dress up like a cat? I'll be your kitty. Meow. But yeah, that's exactly what the left does. And then they'll be like, what? I'm just doing this. Don't I have a right to do this? But meanwhile, they're coordinating against you.
None other says, I think a better analogy would be someone carrying a weapon and shooting a mugger compared to carrying a weapon to shoot a specific person before you knew they were going to mug someone. Well, there's a lot of analogies we can use. Those are the ones I chose. Maybe there's better ones, but those are the ones that I went with, okay? We're not going to be perfect here today. But yes, they'll mock it too. Like, oh, this guy's just talking about all we're doing is it's a clip channel, bro. It's a clip channel. That's all it is. That's all. It's just a clip channel, which is fine in normal contexts. But when it's coordinated, targeted, edited, out of context, meant to target specific people for a specific purpose, meant driven and boosted and all these things, it can become harassment. Even though clipping is fine, there's nothing wrong with it.
You know what's funny is that when I have it sped up, the sped up version, he sounds like exactly like Destiny.
But the coordination, the context around it, why you're doing it, to what purpose, to what end, can become harassment. and it does have an effect on people. And that effect is weaponized against you, right? Because they'll make you seem crazy. They'll make you seem crazy. Like, look at Wick. Look at Wick ranting, giving his psycho conspiratorial opinion, right? I saw these clips already put out with my talk with Hutch, right? Where I kind of outlined a little bit of this. It's an op game. These people are coordinating, and that changes it. That changes the nature of what is being done. I want you guys to understand that. It absolutely does.
See, again, doesn't all this stuff sound familiar? It sounds like everything they do. Dean McCaskill for the Canadian $6.99 Canadian Super Chat. We're not all lefty weirdos up here, I promise you. Well, thank you very much, Dean. Yes, hashtag not all. Hashtag not all Canadians. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. Real quick, guys, make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying.
So yeah, that's the concept that I think you need to understand. The first two, how legitimate actions can become illegitimate in different contexts, and how coordination matters. They want every step judged in isolation because each step sounds defensible in isolation. But harassment campaigns are not built out of one giant indefensible act. They are built out of many small defensible acts arranged towards an indefensible purpose. Example, a streamer makes a messy comment during a 3-hour broadcast. A hostile viewer clips 15 seconds of it. That viewer posts it in a server dedicated to attacking that streamer. The server agrees. The server, they manufacture talking points, agrees on the harshest possible interpretation. The members of that server begin posting the clip with similar captions, similar hashtags, all these things. Members begin sending it out to other streamers that may or not be connected to this, right? I do want to get into another core concept later. And another tactic they use, the plausible deniability. They use unrelated actors to further their goals as part of the machine, even though these other unrelated actors do not realize that they are part of the machine, right? They go in and they react to it into the context of it as if it's already settled, right? Like, this is obviously what it means. There is no other interpretation. If you have another interpretation, you're stupid, etc. And then people will go in and send people into these chats of streamers reacting to it that maybe not be part of the machine, or the streamers themselves that they're clipping, to stir shit, right? To get reactions for more clips, to spread it even around anymore, to kind of create this narrative that they can use to serve their purpose, right? And all of these acts by themselves might be defensible in different contexts, right? Well, there's nothing wrong with clipping people. There's nothing wrong with giving your opinion. There's nothing wrong with reacting to and giving a take. Like, Wick sucks. The Wick handled that bad, right? There's nothing even bad about boosting your friends. Like, if your friend wants you to boost their clip, nothing wrong with that in isolation, right? But it's the coordination.
Yeah, exactly, Wick. I agree. You deserve what you tolerate for the $5. They can't stand their own tactics being used against them. Keep going. Yeah, no, exactly. They can't stand their own tactics being used against them. That's why he's all, bitching about it. But at the same time, he's giving the game away. And thank you very much, Bandit, for the 2. Sounds like Rules for Radicals with more steps. Yeah, exactly. That's where they all learned this from, right? Rules for Radicals. It's funny. I have that book, but I have to actually read it. But thank you very much, Bandit, for the 2. And don't forget, guys, this is a membership drive. So let's get more members to the Coolverse. Thank you to everybody who has gifted memberships or has bought memberships for themselves already. Thank you guys very much.
And they'll start tagging the streamer's guests. They'll start setting it to the streamer's sponsors and say, "Is this your boy? Look at what your boy said about Israel Palestine. You gonna let him say that, right?" And when the streamer gets angry or defensive because they'll see it happening, that's clip 2, and it's used to push. Right? The narrative stress the target out so that they make mistakes, and it's a whole system. Okay. And remember, this is the goal of the Snark server. They have targets. It's not just Destiny, by the way. Ethan Klein, the few others. They've targeted Hutch. They targeted Loaderbox, I believe. I don't know the full target list. I don't have access to the logs, right? But they have targets, and they are targeting them. They targeted me. Right? So that's how.
Not Wick. Del Phil, thank you very much for the $5. This doesn't actually make any sense to me. Is he trying to be taken seriously? This is the I'm a pretty kitty guy, right? The DDG bridge turtle. Yep, that's him. That's exactly him. Thank you very much, Del Phil, for the $5. Proctologist, thank you very much for gifting 1 Cool Vic membership. Congrats to Doomerang. Doomerang, now an official documented citizen of the Coolverse. Thank you very much, Proctologist.
How it's happening, right? And again, they'll retreat to they'll want every aspect judged in isolation, and they'll retreat to that, and they'll be like, "Bro, we're just clipping. What's wrong with clipping?" Because it hides and obfuscates the scale of what they're doing and the real purpose of what they're doing, which is to harass. And JStalk, and yes, I'm naming names, has called for the mass reporting of different targets. And he has used this system of harassment and coordination to create the justification where he can call for that, where he makes others feel justified in taking that action. I can't give you the details of every single thing that he's done to do this, but he has admitted to calling for the mass reporting of people. And you have to remember, right, that this is the goal, okay? The goal isn't to get to the truth. They aren't mass reporting because they've done something, right? Because they've organically done something wrong. They're mass reporting because they hate them, right? They hate them. So they're building a permission structure. They're building up a justification to say why what they are doing against the people that they hate is righteous and just. It's a coordination campaign. It's what it is. It's AstroTurf. It's like Trump sending out to all the people in the group chats on MAGA side after his third assassination attempt that we have to build ballroom. Okay, they want it to feel organic, but it's not. It's AstroTurf. It's not organic at all. Okay. Thank you for the 4-month Riz What the Fuck membership. Reminder, folks, to smash that like button. Yeah, well, give me money, gang. That's all nice, right? And remember, a lot of each of the people, individuals in this server, not all of them share the same level of guilt. And I want to make that clear, right? The more community just to start shit, just to get people to react so that they can feed it into this machine that they've created, well, then you share a little more culpability. If you're one of the people who posted my fucking docs, or laughed at it, or justified it, then you share a lot of culpability. Okay, there are levels to this, and I don't know the levels to which every single person in there is culpable. I just don't. But I'm telling you what they're doing. I'm telling you how they're doing it. And again, I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. I might get a detail wrong here or two, but this is what we see happening. $5 from No Fucking Way says, what?
I mean, aren't they all lefties anyway? All of them, even the Snarkers, Wick, they're all lefties anyway. So yeah, no wonder he's sharing their strategy book.
Makes a great movie, great actors. And yeah, this is for you. Have you thought about the fact that Destiny is a girl's name? Or not? True. Women. Am I right, gang? Huh. Women. Okay. Oh, thank you for the example. Greg Z2 says, WhickTV, if there are levels to it, what level of culpable are you for Destiny and DGG doxing? So,
ooh, good question.
Well, I guess we have a couple more core points to get to, but this is a good example of one of the major main tactics that Snarkers use. Always, always, always be on offense.
So this is what I wanted to talk about here. Always, always, always be on offense. So this is something that I've noticed, right? And I really started to notice it with Brian Shapiro because he always makes sure you're on the offense. He's always having you answer to something Trump did or something that you did or someone that you're associated with did. You always have to sit there and answer and be on the defensive. Why did you support Trump when he did this? Why did you support Trump when he said that? Why didn't you speak up when he did this? Why are you friends with that guy? How come you said this? They always want you on the defensive. And it's just something that I picked up on. How it's like, I feel like whenever a right winger is debating a left winger, the left winger always makes sure that you're there apologizing or answering for something that Trump did or someone on your side did. That's always what it's about. How could you support a guy who did this? How come you said that? Blah, blah, blah. And so when I heard Wick talking about this as like part of the strategy, always be on the offensive. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, exactly. So this is part of the lefty strategy, huh?
If someone is talking about what you're doing, what about Destiny? And people are going to react to this. And this is
so someone people are going to react to this. Yes, we are. But so now he's being upset that someone's doing it to him, And by the way, in a way, he's kind of actually doing it right now.
Major main tactics that Snarkers use. Always, always, always be on offense. If someone is talking about what you're doing, what about Destiny? And people are going to react to this. And this is what they will say, right? I will make an accusation. I will speak about what they're doing and the wrongs that they are doing, the bad things that they're doing, and wait for it, and you'll hear it. What about Destiny? What about DGG? What about all these other people? What about everything else? And it's a way to always, always, always be on offense because they want you litigating. And Counterpoints did this. I don't know if he did this on purpose or he was just fucking mind raped as Destiny.
Well, he's been hanging out with you guys for so long. That's why he's familiar with all the lib tactics now. Isn't Connor pretty much a lib anyway?
He likes to say. Instead of talking about what the Snarkers were doing, he wanted to litigate Destiny's sex life. What does that have anything to fucking do with what we are talking about? Nothing. But people feel the need to defend themselves. People feel the need to be like, answer, to explain. But if you're excusing, you're losing in the rhetoric war, right? So that's the first tactic. Always, 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 always attack. Never, ever, ever, ever make the conversation about what's happening on the doxing server or the Snark server or with JStalk or with all these other people. Always, 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 always make the conversation, what about Destiny? What is Destiny doing? What is DDD doing? That's the first and most important tactic that I need you guys to understand. I need you to understand it. And this isn't a conspiracy. You can see it. It's happening in my chat right the fuck now, right? It's happening on Twitter every single day. It's happening in my Twitch chat every single time. It's, what about Destiny? What about Destiny? What about Destiny? What about DGG? Always, 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 always attack, because if you're excusing, you're losing. If you're explaining, it's lame, right? You are losing the conversation if you're explaining, right? If you're having to litigate why it's like whatever sins you may or may not have committed or may not be guilty of.
Yeah,
so just
exactly.
recognize that. And remember, these people aren't in earnest. They're not genuine 9 times out of 10, but they hide amongst people who are. And this is what's important. Just because someone has a problem with what Destiny has done does not make them a snarker. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. I'm getting ahead of myself. Someone triggered me a little bit, but I wanted to make that clear. Okay, sorry. Let's back up. Read some super chats. $5 from Alishness says, "What is Destiny doing right now, Wick? You're streaming, but what is Destiny doing?" Oh, that's a good question. I have no fucking clue.
Alishness, that's the big Wick fan that debated Rob a few months ago. The one that didn't want to straight up say that you should assault ICE officers or whatever, but pretty much did.
You got to ask yourself, who named the targets? Who framed them as deserving? Who supplied the narrative that it was permissible, right? Who created the permission structure for this, right? Who justified doing this? Like, it would be okay to do this because of XYZ, right? Who boasted the attackers? Who rewarded the escalation? So, like, for example, if someone on Kiwi Farms goes after and doxes someone, and then you have people in a community cheer that person on and give them accolades, give them flowers, there's some culpability there. Who laughed when lines are crossed? Who found it funny? Who was amused that their enemy got hurt, right? Who protected the people involved? Who run cover for them, right? Who minimized it afterwards? Who's talked about, like, Wick, I know you got doxxed, but it really wasn't that bad, man. Like,
that's what they do.
They're still fine. It's no good. Like, look, other people have had worse. This is not. Who minimized it, right? And I think one of the most important questions is who benefited from it. So when you ask yourself, like, what level of culpability do people have? I think these are some good basic questions to start to ask. It's a good checklist to kind of go over. And remember, not a single one of these things requires an individual person to direct another individual person to do an act, right? And that's how they thrive. And it's why it's really, really hard to kind of, unless you happen to have a bunch of logs that they didn't know you were logging. It's really, really hard to kind of point out specific bad actors in this, right? They all hide in this plausible deniability space, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
So, like, I'll give you an analogy. You have a factory owner who's built a machine, okay, or who's helped to build a machine. They may not personally operate the machine, but if he designed the factory, if he ignored the safety warnings, if he rewarded speed over caution, if he punished people who complained about it, he bears responsibility when the machine eventually hurts someone. And I'm not claiming that every central figure in all this personally did every bad act. That would be an absurd standard, okay? That we would never meet that standard, right? Like, Trump didn't personally go in and break in on January 6th, but he still bears responsibility. He didn't personally beat every single one of those cops. Or I don't think any of those cops, to be clear. But he definitely bears responsibility. And you guys understand that, right? What I'm saying is that they helped create, encourage, normalize, and set up a way to benefit from the system that produces these acts, okay, that produces this harassment, and that has produced doxing. If you build a culture where people are rewarded for digging, smearing, brigading, targeting people associated with other people, you do not get to act shocked when someone eventually crosses a line and doxes or harasses another person. You don't. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. He's literally describing Democrats / liberals / progressive. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And Pumpkinhead. So pretty much the left Wick. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was listening to this. And I was like, he's pretty much giving away all the strategies of the left. That's exactly everything that they do. Everything that they do. He tries to be like, oh, yeah, but Trump, like with January 6th with Trump. But no, that's exactly what they do all the time. When someone on their side does something, it's always like, well, it wasn't because of anything we said, and then they turn it around. And what about when you guys did this? Or they go, can you name specific people? And then therefore, if you can't, well, then therefore, you must not know what you're talking about then. Meanwhile, we all know it. Like, we all know that they have this dangerous rhetoric, that they hate us. They do want to see us dead. They encourage violence every chance they get. So at the very least, don't denounce it enough. They keep slandering us in various different ways. And then when we call out, it's like they try to gaslight us, or they say, well, what about this? It's all the things that they do. Gotta drink my
Yes, I'm reading this. I wrote,
by the way, WhickTV sponsored by Coca-Cola.
This down before, bitch. I read an outline and I wrote down analogies. Yes, I'm reading it. I have notes, motherfucker. What's this?
I have notes, motherfucker. You don't want to mess with me, pal. I will beat your butt.
Oh, he's reading it. Wick reads. Yes, motherfucker, I read. Holy crap. Wick can read. I know. Surprising. Crazy. There's a lot, and I got to go over it. I got to talk about it, and it requires that I remember what I wanted to talk about. And look, one of the flaws that I have is I get distracted easy. Okay, I get fragmented. See, they're still doing it in my chat. They're still going. When will you be explaining how DGG is different, or do you not care? This is tactic 1. Offense, offense, offense. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. They're doing it right now. You can see it. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. You're never allowed to just talk about what's the bad things that they're doing. You're never allowed. They won't allow it. They will insist we litigate DGG and Destiny's crimes. We can do that another fucking day if you like, but not today. Okay?
Yeah, well, there you go. Listen, I think I stopped listening around here. 4 hours of this. You want to watch the whole thing yourself. But I just thought that was fascinating here, that Wick is complaining about these snarkers, all the tactics that they're using. Meanwhile, that's exactly what like the left does. That's exactly everything that they do. So he's just bitching and complaining that they're using the same tactics that they do against them. They just hate that. But meanwhile, they're all lefties, aren't they? Like, snarkers are all like lefties. So it's like they're just basically using the tactics against each other, and Wick's sitting here trying to call it up. But it's just confirming everything that I've thought that these people do. Again, I've noticed these things myself, and so for him to sit there and actually say it out loud, the quiet part out loud, it was something I just wanted to share and talk about. But I'm not sure how much more I could stand of this guy's voice. So if you guys want to put yourself through this, go right ahead. What do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the cool stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.